order the regular meeting of Medford Township Council. This meeting is called in pursuant with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. This meeting of February 3rd, 2026 is included in a meeting notice sent to the Burlington County Times and the Central Record on January 7th, 2026, and advertised in said newspapers on January 11th, 2026, and on January 15th, 2026, respectively. Posted on the website and the bulletin board in the municipal building on January 7th, 2026, and has remained continuously posted as required under statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file at the office of the municipal clerk. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Ricker, please call the roll.
Ms. Sanford? Here. Mr. Cox?
Here.
Ms. Mill? Here. Deputy Mayor Voorhees?
Here.
Mayor Scissor?
Here. All right, this evening we have three very special presentations. We're going to go slightly out of order. I apologize for the way the agenda was, but I feel it's appropriate to do our very first very special proclamation this evening for the Ross family. Would Elizabeth and Skylar join us up front?
Right there is good.
All right. Medford is a community built on care, responsibility, and stepping up when it matters most. Tonight, before reading this proclamation, we pause to recognize that heroism does not always wear a uniform, but it always reflects the very best in who we are. Thank you for being here. Proclamation honoring Elizabeth Ross and Skylar Ross. Whereas on January 20th, a potentially tragic accident occurred at Birchwood Lakes when a young boy, a third grader student who is deaf, stepped onto a frozen lake, fell through the ice, and became submerged in the water. And whereas the child's brothers quickly began shouting and signaling for help in a moment of great distress and urgency. And whereas Skylar Ross, age 11, recognized the emergency and immediately alerted her mother, Elizabeth Ross, that a boy was drowning. And whereas, without hesitation and with complete disregard for her own safety, Elizabeth Ross rushed to the scene and pulled the young child from the icy water. And whereas, the swift actions, courage, and selflessness demonstrated by Elizabeth Ross, along with the awareness and quick thinking of Skylar Ross, directly resulted in saving the life of a neighbor and fellow member of the Medford community. And whereas, their heroism, their heroic responses reflect the very best of the community spirit, compassion, and willingness to help others in a moment of critical need. And whereas the Township of Medford recognizes that ordinary citizens can perform extraordinary acts, and Elizabeth and Skylar Ross exemplify bravery, responsibility, and care for others. Now let it be proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the Township of Medford do hereby honor and condone Elizabeth Ross and Skylar Ross for their heroic and life-saving actions on January 20th and extend the gratitude and admiration of the entire community for their courage and selflessness service. Be it further proclaimed that their actions stand as an inspiring example to residents of all ages and a reminder of the strength and compassion found within our community. Thank you very much.
Good job, young lady.
life-saving award from Medford Township. Let's get some pictures. Now we do. Tonight, we are also recognizing a group that truly represents the spirit of Medford, Medford Vincent Town Rotary. Sorry. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll repeat that. Tonight, we also recognize a group that truly represents the spirit of Medford, the Medford Vincent Town Rotary. For decades, Rotary members have dedicated their time, talent, and energy to serving our community. Their work touches residents of all ages, and their impact can be seen all year long, but especially in one of Medford's most beloved traditions, our Halloween parade. What makes it even more meaningful is that the parade helps so much more because it gives back. Through this event and other fundraisers, including Karaoke with Cops, the Rotary awards over $70,000 in local scholarships annually, provides dictionaries to third graders, hosts the Easter egg hunt, the Father's Day fishing derby, supports special need dance parties with the Philly Fanatic, and sends students to the Rotary Youth Leadership Academy, also known as RYLA, and so much more. This is truly service above self. We're pleased to recognize the 2026 Rotary leadership as well as honor all the members, past and present, that have served this community. President Mike Spencer, President-elect Tom Umberhauer, Secretary Paul Zetz, Recording Secretary Bill Harris, Treasurer Troy Haynes, Membership Chair Robert Harriet, Executive Administrator Lisa Umberhauer, Event Chair Kristen Anise, Public Relations Kim Bazanis, I apologize, Grant and Donations Chair Peter Johnson, and Sergeant-in-Arms Elvis Pagnotta. On behalf of the Township of Medford, thank you for your dedication, generosity, and the countless ways you strengthen our community. I stand before you honored to read your proclamation and humbled to call you all mentors and friends. If you could come up. All right, no pressure. Yeah, let's circle around here.
So come on.
All right. This actually worked out good. Proclamation honoring Medford Vincent Town Rotary. Whereas, founded in 1939 and with 61 members today, the Medford Vincent Town Rotary has long been a dedicated partner in strengthening the Medford community through service, leadership, and a commitment to improving the lives of others. And whereas, Rotary members apply their professional skills, personal integrity, and spirit of volunteerism to address community needs, support youth, and promote goodwill and fellowship. And whereas, since 1947, the Medford Vincent Town Rotary has proudly organized Medford's beloved Halloween parade, a tradition that began when the township sought a safe and positive Halloween season activity for the local youth, and which has grown into one of the most cherished events in our town's history. And whereas from its humble beginnings of costume marchers, a few floats, fire engines, and a band, the parade has grown into a spectacular annual celebration featuring more than 10 marching bands, 40 hand-built floats, hundreds of costume participants, and drawing over 20,000 spectators each year. And whereas the Halloween Parade represents a true labor of love by generations of Rotarian members and stands as the club's largest annual undertaking and primary fundraiser, with 100% of the proceeds returning directly to this community. And whereas, through the success of this event and other fundraising efforts, including the popular Karaoke with Cops fundraiser supporting the Township Police, the Medford Town Rotary is able to provide remarkable community support, including awarding $70,000 in scholarships annually, providing dictionaries to third graders, hosting the annual Easter egg hunt at Freedom Park, Father's Day fishing derby, sponsoring a joyful special needs dance party, funding local students' participation in RILA, and supporting numerous additional charitable and community initiatives. Now for, let it be proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the Township of Medford do hereby honor the Medford Town Rotary for its decades of service and for its creating and sustaining the Medford Halloween Parade, one of the Township's most cherished and unified traditions. Be it further proclaimed that the Township extends its sincere gratitude for the Rotarians' lasting contributions to the community and its roles in enriching the lives and generations of Medford residents. Thank you, guys.
Somebody take a picture of the mayor?
Yeah, we're going to do the presentation and come up here. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Look at your real one. Oh, wrong glasses.
All right. Now, for our third presentation, we have the EAAC annual update presented by the one and only Paula Galley.
Thank you so much. You didn't hear me say you had to make that a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Is that my feedback? So I brought a script tonight because those of you who know me know if left to my own devices, I would talk way too long. So if you'll excuse me if I refer to my notes. So good evening, Mayor and Council. And I want to thank you for the opportunity for share this brief update on the work of the Environmental Affairs Advisory Committee and Green Team, along with our Green Team Auxiliary. In 2025, our committee continued to focus on practical, community-based environmental initiatives that engage residents and deliver measurable results for Medford. Some of our key accomplishments for 2025 include hosting a very cold but successful tree giveaway and Arbor Day celebration, supporting Medford's Tree City goals in spite of that cold, wet weather, running the Oktoberfest recycling project, diverting significant waste from the landfill. It was reported that about 250 pounds of those plastic glasses were recycled, and we aim to do that again this Oktoberfest. We achieved and we continue to maintain our Sustainable Jersey Silver certification. They're going through a reboot right now, and hopefully they're going to make it a little easier for us to achieve gold, because that's always been a goal for us. Securing grant funding to continue to support our environmental programming. Launching a partnership with Garden State Composting for a community-based composting project. It's all about saving those tipping fees. We hosted the Burlington County Green Teams Roundtable. We've hosted it twice here in Medford, and we're working on continued collaboration with them in projects. I'll talk to that when we get to 2026. And we continue to grow and support our Green Team Auxiliary. They meet regularly as well. So I want to highlight, I'd like to show an impact on the things that we do. So while Trex is redoing their portal for their recycling project, since 2021, we have been able to keep 5 tons of that non-traditionally recyclable plastic out of the landfill. And when I think about 5 tons, I think about some volunteers that are with me tonight. We average about 100 pounds a week, stuffed, and literally, when I say stuffed, I mean we throw bodies onto it to push it into the car. And I know my SUV can only hold about 90 pounds, and that's, thank goodness for rear view cameras and side view mirrors, because I can't see anything else. But if we were to take that plastic and visualize it, we would fill this entire room. We'd have to take the seats out, but from top to bottom, front to back, we would be filling this room. So that's pretty amazing when you think about it. And so they're redoing their program as well. They're changing some of the things, and we've decided that for us the bonus has been keeping that plastic out of the landfill, and we'll continue doing it. Since January 16th, with the help of DPW bringing the plastic that's in the municipal building outside the library, as well as the Medford Women's Club, Quaker Meeting House. There's so many different partners and drop-off places that we appreciate. So we're going to keep it going and keep it moving. So looking ahead to 2026. I'm pretty loud. So we are working on implementing, and it looks like we'll be partnering with an Eagle Scout project on our community composting project. So we'll be putting those applications out for people to apply very soon. They'll be located at the community gardens as well as Gravelly Hollow. So I'm excited about that. We're also working at developing the educational trails in Arboretum at Hartford Crossing Park. So that's something we're really looking forward to. Somebody once told me that they were tired of coming to the environmental committee with a bike rodeo on my agenda. It's been on the agenda for at least 2 years, and it's continuing, because I think this is the year we're going to pull something off for bike safety and communication, and I'm really excited about that. We're also in collaboration with the Green Team, Burlington County Green Team Roundtable. We're going to be the host of a repair cafe. And that is something that some of our environmental committee members and volunteers participated in last year in Moorestown, where a group of experts, computer repair, jewelry repair, sewing, bike repair, they're all there for the residents to do free service, 1 day of free service. And we're going to be hosting that this, it looks like May. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We also have a subcommittee working on a Halloween costume recycling program, which would be free of charge to residents. So residents can get rid of some old costumes and other people could make use of them. We're going to continue, as I said, the plastic recycling program. We're growing the Sustainable Medford Facebook page to continue to engage volunteers and inform residents about our sustainable projects and opportunities. We are also going to collaborate with local groups and nonprofits on a green fair this year, which I think is going to be a lot of fun and will continue to educate in a fun way. I mean, I always believe that when somebody comes and they have fun and they touch something, they leave with a different kind of passion and willingness to participate. And of course, we're going to continue our core initiatives, Tree City and the Sustainable Jersey Actions. So I want to tell you that we, as a committee and the auxiliary, we appreciate the town and the township's administration, the support with Angela and Daniel and all of you, and we look forward to continuing to work together to make Medford an even more sustainable place to live. So if you don't mind, I would like my environmental committee members and members of our Green Team Auxiliary to stand for a moment. So you see,
Please come up.
oh, there it is. Come on up. Entrusting for you to get to Daniel so that he can hang it up. This is, since 2019 was the first time we achieved bronze status. Really, come on. Woohoo! You haven't left me alone all this time. Don't leave me alone now. So in 2019 we achieved bronze. In 2025 silver, and I'm sorry, 2022 silver, and then again in 25. So we will recertify again in 2028. So Daniel, thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate you. Come on this side so we can get a picture of you. We're all about saving lives, saving the town, and saving the world. Yes, our little uniform.
Mayor, if I could just add, it is an absolute pleasure for Angela and I to work with the EAAC and certainly the Green Team as their companion organization. Angela is the daily liaison. I get to go to meetings when I can make meetings. But it's just, if you want to talk about active community service, that's what the EAAC does. They come up with ideas, they come up with events, and then they don't hesitate to bring those to Angela and me and to you in turn, and then they turn around and they implement it. So they have, we have every right to be proud of them because they do a lot as volunteers. And they're very authentic with what they do. And like literally when Paul and I last year were talking about putting a box in town hall to collect recycling, it didn't even last. We had to put 2 boxes in. And now we're going like every week Public Works is coming over and hauling 2 bags, giant bags worth. So people, when we make these opportunities to help out available through the Green Team and the EAC, people step up and our community steps up. So I just appreciate the work that all of them do in that.
I'll echo that as well. It's one of my favorite committees to go to, and the enthusiasm that comes out of that committee is fantastic, and the education as well. It's just a wonderful, wonderful committee. Thank you.
Well, then I'm super excited because you're going to be stuck with me as your liaison. So I get them now.
Paula, thank you for everything you do and your team. As Daniel said, it's a very special organization. We can all feel how much passion you have for your initiatives, and it really means a lot to us that you guys are willing to give all your time and energy to that passion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So now we will be moving on to communications. I have one that I'd like to start with. When this evening's agenda was being formulated, I was out of town for work. Due to my conflict, Deputy Mayor Voorhees and Councilwoman Milk sat in on our weekly mayor's meeting with the township manager. At the time of the meeting, the agenda was not complete. However, we were aware that from the actions taken by the planning board that we would at least have 2 resolutions on this agenda designating the area in need of redevelopment for the 2 parcels as part of our 4th round housing plan, and that these resolutions were time sensitive to send to the Department of Community Affairs for approval. Nevertheless, when the agenda was released, it listed 3 resolutions instead of the original 2 previously known to council, with the main change of the 2 original resolutions as well as the 3rd new resolution being that a redeveloper for these parcels was being designated. It is important to note that to the residents that the property owner of the parcels is the one selecting the redeveloper, and the council cannot change who the property owner sells their property to, but as members of council, we were unaware that we were at the point of naming a redeveloper for the property owners that the property owners have selected. In review of the published agenda, Deputy Mayor Voorhees and I spoke, and she requested to speak with our new attorney, Mr. McGuckin, for clarification on which steps we should be at in regards to our compliance with the COA mandates. Since we were of the understanding that we weren't at the point of naming a redeveloper. Deputy Mayor Voorhees, I'll turn it over to you to discuss where you're at.
Thank you. Sorry for my voice in advance. It's probably going to crack and do all kinds of fun things. But after consulting with Mr. McGuckin, he advised us that we can press pause on naming a developer tonight. It would also give him time to take a deeper dive into our COA timeframes and report back to us by the next meeting. This pause will probably not affect our March 15th deadline, but it does give him time to review and advise us, especially considering he's been on the job for a week. That being said, with your permission, Mayor, I would like during our resolution section to request a motion to amend resolutions 45 and 46 to remove the designation of a developer. Additionally, I would like to make a motion to completely table resolution 47. This way we can move forward with the 2 actions of the planning board, setting the 2 parcels to the DCA. Considering that DCA approval takes about 30 days, that would still allow us to be on the 30-day timeline and give Mr. McGuckin a little bit more time to review and give us an update and recommendations for what our next steps should be.
Sure. I will ask for those motions when we get to resolutions. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
All right. Does anyone have any further communication?
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to take a moment to thank the ladies and gentlemen of our Public Works Department for the job that they did during this recent storm. I know it wasn't easy, obviously, with the amount of snow that we had, and it's been a number of years since we had that amount of snow. But I also just want to echo the mayor's sentiments and his mayor's message this week about the patience for the community. Obviously, there's a salt shortage throughout the state that everybody's working with, and I know the Public Works Department has been very attentive at trying to address those streets that have not been addressed to the satisfaction of the residents. But I just wanted to give that word of thanks to DPW as well as our first responders who are working in those conditions as well.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move to scheduling items. The next meeting will be February 17th, 2026. That'll be a regular council meeting at the Public Safety Building right here at 6:30. Now on to approval of minutes. We have 4. The first will be January 20th, 2026 executive session, January 26th, 2026 executive session, January 27th, 2026 executive session, and January 27th council meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. We'll now be moving to discussion items. We have one this evening, public support and engagement on affordable housing. So as discussed earlier in communications, the planning board last week approve the area in need of redevelopment designation for the Parkview and Stall Camp EFS sites. Those actions and the soon-to-be amended resolutions will be voted on tonight. They required to be sent to the Department of Community Affairs, also known as DCA, for approval, and this action is statutorily required to stay in compliance with our current March 15th COA deadline to avoid the potential for a builder's remedy suit. Additionally, under the council's direction, the manager and his team have begun reaching out to the private and corporately held deed holders who currently have affordable housing restrictions. This is in an effort to understand how many would be interested in entertaining an extension and what those holders think the value of the extension would cost the township through negotiation. These figures are important for the township to understand as it relates to what funding sources we would pull from in order to cover the cost. We have also looked into the feasibility of us being successful in these efforts, and it is important for us to set expectations for residents because our understanding surrounding towns like Morristown had only been successful in extending 2 existing deeds in this process. But as council, we value the importance of this exercise and will continue to pursue it. Simultaneously to that, the team is reviewing our projections for the calendar year 2026 budget and exploring our bonding capabilities. As we all know, these efforts and others take money and buy-in from the residents, which is why, if the time comes, I will encourage my colleagues on council to join together to explore the potential need for a referendum to seek the authority from the residents if it is the tool that is needed for the funding of the items so the cost of the deeds can be covered. And these are available to us, or even increasing our open space funds to free up additional funds to continue land preservation efforts. An example of that would obviously be the corner of Church and Hartford Road, which we preserved earlier last year. As always, we are encouraging the public to continue working with us on solutions to meet our affordable housing state mandate. I'll now turn it over to Deputy Mayor Voorhees
And Councilman Cox.
Councilman Cox.
So we listened, Ray and I have spoken quite a bit, Councilman Cox and I have spoken quite a bit in reference to what you guys have come up and asked for, and that was an affordable housing subcommittee. Councilman Cox has actually come up with a charter for said committee. Do you want to go with that part, and then I'll start yapping again?
Absolutely. So, yes, so based on the feedback that we received from the residents, we put together a draft subcommittee charter for a affordable housing round 4 subcommittee. The purpose of this committee would be to analyze the impact of the pending round 4 affordable housing developments on Medford Township infrastructure, schools, municipal services, and overall quality of life for residents. This subcommittee shall be tasked with reviewing projected development numbers, compare them against the township's known affordable housing obligations, and identify potential measures the township may legally and proactively explore to lower the total number of required housing units while maintaining compliance with state requirements. The drafted members of this subcommittee would include 2 Township Council members, 2 Board of Education members, 3 Medford Township residents, the Township Manager, as well as the School District Superintendent. The formal statement of the subcommittee reads, as Medford Township approaches round 4 of affordable housing obligations, numerous development proposals have the potential to significantly affect municipal infrastructure capacity, school district enrollment, transportation networks, public safety resources, environmental conditions, and community character. The purpose of this council subcommittee will be to evaluate these impacts comprehensively to ensure transparency for township residents and to provide informed recommendations to council as well as the Board of Education. The subcommittee will also assess how current development projections align with the affordable housing obligations, including the feasibility of mechanisms such as zoning adjustments, redevelopment planning, property acquisition, strategic density allocation, and other actions as laid out under New Jersey's affordable housing regulations. The meetings shall be periodic and shall be called upon by the township clerk at a municipal facility at the council co-chair's requests. The duration of this subcommittee is drafted to last up to 6 months, but may be extended by action of this council. Staff involvement would include the township manager, township planner, township engineer, and school district business administrator and other relevant municipal or school district personnel as needed. Any recommended improvements or policy changes or expenditures beyond what is normally budgeted in the township's annual operating budget for this subcommittee shall be subject to the capital budgeting process or other applicable statutory review requirements by the township manager and township engineer.
So one of the things Ray and I talked about was the fact that this would then cost the town finances. Any subcommittee that does include all those things will incur costs. So the question that we've gone back and forth with is, could we do this without the oversight? And that is something that I would want to hear back from you. The other thing that occurred to me, and I mentioned it to Councilman Cox recently, was that is this charter that he created focused highly on the schools, and while super, super important, this last year and a half with my father also told me something else about seniors. EMS is coming out a lot. I was literally on a first name basis with some of those lovely folks. So I think that as we do this, we need to keep EMS involved as well. The other piece that I realized last night was missing was the ecological piece. Things like the land surveys and soil samples and all of those bits and pieces that we just want to check and make sure are being done in a way that would make the residents feel comfortable with us going forward. So my only pushback would be I don't want to spend the taxpayers' money because I worry about the number of things that could go out for a subcommittee, but I would definitely, the two council members would be myself and Councilman Cox. So, I mean, I'm definitely all in. I am concerned about spending money that we don't need to when we talk about trying to get ahead.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a good investment, really.
Is
When we're
this
spending money to save money.
something we would consider maybe putting a cap of expenditure, like a $5,000 expenditure cap?
I would totally be in for that.
If I may, I don't mean to.
No.
Yeah. So Councilwoman Milk and I were on two subcommittees, what was it, last year? I'm sorry, I'm losing track. And, you know, we had gone in, obviously, our manager at the time, Daniel Hornicle, was encouraged us to kind of understand the scope. And, you know, these are all very important, valid points, and this is what the public is looking for. We were getting a lot of feedback about Taunton Road, and at the time, it was the village as well. So we held very informal town halls as just kind of like a primer to what then the charter became the outcome of the town halls. And so I believe there was a total of 9 meetings for one and 10 for another. The first 2 of each were town halls before the charter even existed. So it would give you an opportunity to understand, like, you may actually trim the charter down to be more specific to what the members of that specific town hall are interested in. It could encompass all those things, but coming out of that charter, coming out of those town halls, you may have the opportunity to write a very descriptive, clean charter.
And maybe be ahead of the game for the next round, round 5.
Yeah, absolutely. My only
It's
concern with that, and this may not be a concern, with a town hall format, which I would love to have without this, but I believe there's still pending litigation, and that'd be my only concern about not having a formal scope outlined.
Okay.
Rather than having it as an open town hall. Yeah. That'd be my only hesitation around more of an open town hall.
No, it's a great point. Open
format.
litigation is definitely a problem.
Yeah.
So again, just to go back from experience, Bethany Milk, Councilwoman, it was also part of the process was selecting the members, right? So we've heard from a lot of members of the public on this topic. We didn't necessarily at all want to limit the participation, but it did turn into who was on the actual subcommittee. So we opened the meeting to the public, but it was the members of the subcommittee were present, like a quorum scenario, right? So determining who those members are, I would imagine would be left up to the 2 council representatives. But I give you that as
That's a great piece.
cause for concern. You have to form members of this.
And how was that selection process handled?
allowed applicants to
Okay.
apply,
Yes,
very
that's right.
informally for email. And if people, I know there was times where people would come to us and say, hey, I want to be on that, we could direct them back to the clerk or the manager.
Okay.
Please just send a formal email. Those were compiled, and I believe it took a call to, there was maybe 12 that applied, and once people knew, like, okay, gentleman X applied, let him do it.
Okay.
Right, ma'am Y applied, okay, I'll just go through her, that kind of thing. So it kind of becomes self-consolidating, but,
It's definitely good not to interrupt, but just to have a limit only because when it becomes so big.
So big.
Yeah.
And also, depending on what you're talking about that evening, you could say, well, I might need the superintendent there or the planner or whatever, versus everybody being at that one meeting.
yeah. So there's that go-forward plan did for us, came out of a town hall format. It, again, just as the primer. I would just encourage you to if we're going to go in this direction, I would encourage a financial limit, definitely a time limit, and
You're talking to me again this week.
Yeah, time limit's very important because I think they tend to go over and it's, definitely a hard stop to keep in mind everybody's time.
No, those are good points.
Yeah,
If you're
absolutely.
good, we'll just keep chatting and we'll fine tune and
Absolutely.
there
Do
we
we
go.
have,
That's
do we have
fine.
council's blessing to proceed with this subcommittee?
if the two of you are comfortable, you would have my blessing that we would.
I just have one question. Could you put it into, 4 sentences, what you're doing? Sure. You know what I mean? You read a long thing, but if you were to sum it up and tell the public what
The main, I would say the main purpose would be to evaluate what we currently have in terms of affordable housing and evaluate prospective numbers and potential to address our current obligation for round 4.
So we're not examining any other opportunities to meet our obligations?
No, that would be
That
part,
would be
yeah,
one of
that'd
them?
be part of it, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a lot for one committee,
Yeah, that'd be part of
but
it.
great idea.
Yeah. Probably focus on a thing at a time. I
Right.
think to Councilwoman Milk's point, who would need to be there at each
Right.
meeting.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, we got some fine tuning to do, but those are great ideas.
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
But with your blessing, we will
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
go forward.
Great.
Thank you.
That's a great recommendation.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Any further comments on this discussion item?
When you did have your formal charter, did that come back for council for formal adoption, or was that just?
I think we passed through a resolution, I
Okay.
believe. Yeah.
Right, Dan?
I think you just listed it on, as an agenda item and then did a
Oh, that's right.
consensus.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
and just one other point to follow what the mayor was saying. The benefit of doing the town hall first was it allowed you as the subcommittee members to listen to who's coming up and kind of be able to gauge
Who you
them.
do and don't.
So that when people do apply, you put a name and a face together.
Right.
And you have, maybe more confidence in this person than that person. So that, I think, the mayor hit it right in the head, Councilwoman Milk, same thing. That's why it works so well for them.
Great. Thank you.
And they can also, from you, understand what the commitment you expect from them to serve with.
Yeah, that is a big one.
Mayor, if I could, as far as the subsequent appointments after the subcommittee, when you were going to add additional public members, is that what I understood?
Well, it was going to be, as needed, it would be, if we need the township manager or the township attorney to come to a meeting.
Were you then going to solicit members of the public to be part of the committee?
Yes, there'll be three residents of the subcommittee.
Okay, but they'll be
Yes.
appointed by the council?
By council, yes.
Got it, thanks.
Could they be appointed by the
The two-
board, the
the two-
subcommittee?
I would recommend it be by the council.
Oh, understood. Okay. So when we get to that point, just as we did an informal email to manager and clerk, and then
Same.
all of council would receive those applicants. Great. Okay. Great work, guys. Thank you. So now my second favorite part. My first is proclamations. This is now public comment. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the incredible gift that we're about to do. Across this world, countless people still dream of the freedoms we have, freedoms that so many brave men and women have sacrificed their lives to defend. These rights we exercise tonight, to speak openly, to disagree respectfully, and to be heard by our community, are not just privileges, they are unalienable, God-given rights paid for in courage and sacrifice. Let us honor this engagement with each other with civility, respect, and with a shared commitment to building a stronger community together. I would just ask the members of council, so under the current ordinance, each member of the public will be given 5 minutes in which to address the chair. I ask that we allow for the same 1 minute extension if needed. If the speaker is being productive. Fantastic, okay. I ask that Mr. Horn will keep the time and provide a 1-minute warning, and I ask the members of council to hold their comments to the end. If you are interrupted, your time will be paused. If you'd like to speak, please raise your hand and you'll be called to the microphone. Please state your name and any portion of your address you feel comfortable. Please speak loudly and clearly. If anyone would like to speak. Yes, sir. Forgive me.
Really, Joseph from Mahali, resident, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey. 2 questions. How do I get a Medford calendar? That's the first question.
I'm sorry?
How can I get a Medford calendar for 2026?
I have Medford calendars.
There'll be one at the next meeting if you don't have it before that.
Okay.
All right?
And you sent resolution 44, 2026? 44?
44.
That's my 2 questions.
Certainly, Mayor. Resolution 4426 is a proposed shared service agreement between Medford Township and Lumberton Township for a portion of the prospective Flying W redevelopment area. The Flying W contemplates having 290 single-family homes, 100 in Lumberton, 190, give or take a few, in Medford, and Lumberton is offered to do certain public work services for us for a very reasonable charge, and us in return, we will be having the opportunity to extend our sewer system into Lumberton to service that development, and we'll be responsible for a few items as well.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you as a guest.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Wilson?
Zach Wilson, 51 North Main Street. I also want to say thank you to the Department of Public Works employees who were out there taking care of us. However, and I'm not disparaging them, I know that they work very hard. I think that there were some potential review and lessons learned from this last snowstorm that could really help. There are currently 0 crosswalks cleared from the sidewalk to the crosswalk on Main Street from Allen Ave all the way up to Firehouse Lane. You cannot get to a single crosswalk. I know that there have been injuries. I'm watching people walk in the road. I'm watching people fall over ice. We are 10 days after the snowstorm now, and I think that while it's admirable that they are still out there getting things done, I do think that those lapses put us at risk for liability. I'm sure that there is going to be at least one lawsuit against the town at this point. I know somebody has broken their wrist and is going to potentially need surgery, and it's because they could not get across a crosswalk. Not a single crosswalk. My kid has to cross over snow and ice mounds to get to their bus when the bus stops. Yes, they worked hard. At that point, it's a matter of leadership and direction as to where they need to focus efforts, and making sure that people that are in our commercial district are able to get around safely, go from corner to corner without having to crawl over, in some cases, crawl over 3 to 4 feet of ice that extends out 6 feet from the curb is not a tenable solution. And while, yes, again, lauding the workers, I appreciate a little bit more oversight and direction on their efforts. Thank you.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
if he's talking about Main Street, that is a county road, so I will follow up with the county on that, so I appreciate that. You have my email address, so,
Yeah.
you know, if I knew about it last week, I would have, whether or not the county responded, I would have.
I was out there shoveling people out myself, so.
Yeah. But I'll follow up with the county on that.
Anyone else? Motion to close.
No.
Does someone?
Oh,
You have 2 of them.
that was a joke. Kim, come on up. I got too excited. Sorry, Kim.
So,
Hello, everyone. Kim Pollock. I reside at 264 Church Road, Medford. And I want to say congratulations and thank you for the subcommittee moving forward with it. That was my question tonight, so just great to hear that there's going to be help, because it's a lot of work. Is it possible to get a copy of the charter? I thought it was so well written and so well thought out.
It's in draft form currently, so I shared it with the township manager to share with council, but we can definitely get that out as well as in draft form. It's not obviously it wouldn't be the final version until we
Sure.
get to have that adopted.
So obviously, I'd love to, participate on the committee.
Kim, can you just, I can't hear you that well
Oh,
tonight.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
me tonight.
I'd love to participate on the committee. Obviously, I'll, submit an email. But I want to say that I've, conducted a lot of research over the last 5 months that I'd like to share. Once you get everything together, everything formed, before the first meeting, might want to meet and let me share everything that I've put together with you to, for you, to kind of assimilate and then have maybe further direction on the project. Just, the project. I don't know how else to describe it. But then the last thing, how am I doing with time?
You're fine, you have 3 minutes.
The last thing I want to point out is I think a really big flaw that we're overlooking, with this whole thing. I know we have the development plans that have been approved on all the parcels. And it's not the developments and the developer and the plans for the building of the houses that is concerning me. It's the overview of the traffic. And I did speak with Chris Knoll, and he said, I can increase the roads. I can expand the roads, but I can't do anything about the intersections. So the overall question to this is, how is this going to happen? I understand we can build houses on all these parcels, and they'll look however we want and so forth, and we'll satisfy our mandate. But then how are all these people going to get out? 2,000 vehicles a day on 3 roads. We're talking now that neighborhood services can't get out and salt roads. How are they going to do it when there are 2,000 vehicles a day at the Kirby's Mill intersection and 541? How are children going to get to school on time? Suppose there's a funeral. How are cars going to get down the road? I really think the traffic, the engineering of this has to be looked at, because it's a major flaw that is really, I think, going to cripple the whole plan. Because there's just no way for 2,000 cars to move. You've got Amazon delivery trucks, contractors, police, fire, people trying to just go visit their friends, trash trucks. It's a 2-lane road. How's a trash truck and recyclables every single week? The mail girl. I think I'm out of time. I made my point. So copy of the charter, and that's it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one follow-up comment. There will be 2 different sets of engineers looking at everything. It'll be both Chris Knoll as a township engineer and a planning board engineer, but it'll also be the county engineer's office, because anything that impacts county roadway has to go before the county planning board. So that means county traffic engineer. If the county decides to hire a transportation engineer, which it's their prerogative. So there'll be a lot of vetting, both from the county and our own planning board professionals.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, David Villalba, Mount Holly. Medford is a great town. I've driven by it, I shop in it, I frequent it, I go to some of the restaurants. I buy a lot at CW, I think it's called. Beautiful town. My concern, and I've seen it in other towns from California to Chicago to Colorado and so on, when you have population growth and you're building housing, I'm just wondering, you mentioned housing earlier, these are separate from Flying W?
Correct.
So how many units in total are you looking at?
Not counting Flying W, there's 3 additional parcels in that area that will total approximately, Mr. Taylor, I apologize.
Between 800, 850.
Wow. And what with the Flying W?
I don't have that number right there.
We're looking at 1,500?
There's 290 single family and then probably another 80,
80
right?
or so.
80 or so multifamily.
Yeah.
Around, yeah.
So 370 roughly. That was total a little more, somewhere around the 800. Okay. So what effect is that going to have on the infrastructure? You know, that's the main concern with everything that's going on. And it's just going to be overwhelming. And when you develop at such a high rate so quickly, it becomes, because it's going to affect the other towns. It's not just going to affect Medford. It's going to affect the other towns as well. What is it going to do to the taxes? Is it going to increase it? Because now you have to maybe build another school, build better water dispense, sewer, and so on and so on, as the lady mentioned, which she had brought up good points. So is it going to increase the taxes?
Each unit will have its own rateable, so they'll be contributing taxes to the system.
So what about the existing population or the existing property? Are their taxes going to go up?
I don't want to speak directly for
Yeah.
how this will affect, but I believe all development in Medford has always affected the existing
what I
tax
figured.
base.
Yeah. I mean, the tax base is certainly going to grow. Flying W is going to be entirely senior, so that's going to be contributing to the schools without sending kids. And then 30% of the 3 additional tracks will be senior as well.
Okay, and the 20%, is that something that every 2 years, 3 years? So if you take care of the 20% affordable housing and you develop now, how often are you going to continue to develop from that point forward?
Yeah, it's a state court mandated affordable housing number. We have not asked for this, it's been thrust upon us, but it's every 10 years based off the census. Each municipality is given a fair share of the needed affordable units.
Okay, and can you count existing affordable units that you may already have in your town?
They were counted for the first, second, and third round.
So you have to apply new ones?
This
at
is the
point.
4th round obligation, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, once again, I just commend you and your town. It's a great town. Should be more of it around. Keep it small, comfortable, friendly, lovely, and, you know, I look forward to attending more meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Seeing none, we have a motion? So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. All right. Wow, that's exciting. Next, we have the manager's report. Mr. Horn.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight we have 5 new volunteer members for EMS, fire. We're excited we got a fire police, potential fire police member. And of the 5 members, 3 of them are township residents. One is a resident of Medford Lakes. One is a resident next door of Marlton. We're also excited that 2 of the proposed new members already have EMT certifications. One other has a firefighter certification. And the one with the firefighter certification happens to be a helicopter mechanic. So we're really attracting some good volunteers. And it's a tribute to our company's leadership, our department's leadership, that people want to come here and volunteer for this town. So I would ask council's approval for the 5 new members listed in the manager's report.
Yes, sir. So we'll need a voice vote for approval. So all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Chief Dovey, you're not going to get a helicopter. Okay? I'm not sure if any of the 5 new volunteers are here tonight. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll split it. Okay. So I am not sure if any of the 5 new members are here tonight, but on behalf of this council and all the residents, we'd like to thank you for your willingness to participate in this, protecting us when we need it the most. And for those that have come here, as the manager said, with these certifications, that not only saves the town the obligation of providing that certification, but allows those individuals to immediately serve our residents. So thank you very much. Now we'll move on to the clerk's report. Ms. Wicker?
Okay, so tonight we're asking for approval for a 50/50 basket raffle from the Light Casey organization, February 21 through 28. And that's pending state approval. And also approval of social affairs permits for Cedar Run, September 26th, for a 5K run, and October 17th for a dinner fundraiser. If I could get it all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, opposed, none. The clerk's report is approved. All right, so now we'll move on to the bills list. We have one bills list this evening, January 29th, 2026. Do any members of council have any questions or comments on the bills list? No? May I have a motion to approve the bills list?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills list is approved. We will now move on to ordinances for introduction. Would someone like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-2?
I would like to make a motion to table this ordinance establishing calendar year 2026 salary and wage ranges for certain employees of Medford. To be completely honest with you, I've been focused on affordable housing and have not had the time to look at this the way I'd like to and have the questions answered because I haven't had a chance to ask them.
Very fair. I heard a second.
Second, yes.
Second, okay. So we're going to, all in favor or roll call for table?
We can do roll call.
Roll
Do
call.
all in favor.
Okay.
You can do all in favor,
All in,
if you choose.
okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the ordinance for first reading is tabled. So we will move on. Councilwoman Milk, would you like to make a motion for ordinance 2026-4?
Sure. I move that council introduce on first reading ordinance 2026-4, amending development regulations, section 900, fees, guarantees, inspections, and off-track improvements.
Thank you. This ordinance requires property owners or developers to satisfy outstanding escrow amounts before applying for additional land use board applications. It also clears layouts and it also clearly lays out the fee schedule and escrow amounts for a variety of land use applications. As you may notice, during our, I believe, planning and zoning board meetings, there are outstanding escrow balances in which we are looking to collect for our professionals, and this gives it a little bit of teeth. So, does anyone have any comments or questions on this ordinance? No? We do roll call.
I need a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second.
All right. Thank you, Tara.
Okay.
So now we can ask for a roll call. Okay.
Ms. Santamore?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Milk?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Voorhees?
Aye.
Mayor Sizik?
Aye. The public hearing will be on February 17th, 2026. Now we'll move to ordinances for second reading with their public comment. Would someone like to make a motion for ordinance 2026-1?
I move that council adopt on second reading ordinance 2026-1, amending Chapter 5, Article 7, Budget and Fiscal Procedures.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. This ordinance allows the CFO to make payments to utility companies on a timely basis during months where we only have one regular meeting to avoid service disruption and late fees. Introduction was on January 20th. We'll now open it up to the public. If anyone would like to speak to this ordinance, raise your hand and you will be called to the microphone. No one. Okay. May I have a motion to close the public comment?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we will ask for a roll call.
Ms. Santamore?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Milk?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Voorhees?
Aye.
Mayor Sizik?
Aye. The ordinance is adopted. Okay, would someone like to make a motion for ordinance 2026-3?
I move that council adopt on second reading ordinance 2026-3, calendar year 2026 model ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
Second. Okay, second from Mr. Cox. Councilman Cox, excuse me. The municipality may by ordinance increase the cost of living cap adjustment, also known as COLA percentage, up to 3.5%, or bank that for up to 2 years, the difference between its final appropriation subject to the cap of 3.5%. Cap banking must be done by ordinance, which permits increasing appropriations in banking any unappropriated balance, cap bank balances from 2024 and 2025 that will be available for use in 2026. If this measure is not enacted, the township loses the ability to bank. Introduction was on January 20th, 2026. We will now open this ordinance up for public hearing. If someone would like to make comment about this ordinance, please raise your hand and you'll be called to the microphone. Seeing none, motion to close public comment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any council comments on that? Okay. Roll call for adoption.
Ms. Santamore?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Mill?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Voorhees?
Aye.
Mayor Singer?
Aye. The ordinance is adopted. Okay. We will be moving to consent agenda resolutions. And Mr. Hornicle, if I may.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. If you could, would you kindly table Resolution 50, 2026, authorizing a shared service agreement between the township and the county for Taunton Boulevard? We just don't have all the documentation yet back from the county. When we do get it, we would like Mr. McGuckin to review it, and then hopefully we'll have that back in time for the February 17th meeting. So I just asked to table it for one meeting.
So we are moving forward. There's a paperwork
Correct.
challenge at this point.
Yep.
So just for the residents of Taunton, you've been heard. We are working forward we are looking forward to get you the
Yes.
light, but
Yes.
we have to work through obviously the right channels here. So now omitting resolution 50, we don't need a motion for that, correct?
You could table it. since
I
it's
just
on
don't
the
read it,
agenda.
correct?
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. All right. So for consent agenda resolutions, Resolution 42, 2026, authorizing the assignment of tax sale certification 17-00100 to Stephen Giordano, Resolution 43, 2026, temporarily extending the contract with Triad Associates for Affordable Housing Administration Agent Services. Resolution 44, 2026, authorizing a shared service agreement with the Township of Lumberton for public works services. Resolution 48, 2026, amending Resolution 19, 2026, adopting a restated deferred compensation plan, including Roth provisions. Resolution 49, 2026, authorizing the application for a Sustainable Communities Grant from PSE&G Foundation. Resolution 51, 2026, amending the 2026 temporary budget. Resolution 52, 2026, approving 2025 appropriation reserve transfers. Resolution 53, 2026, authorizing the retroactive award of a contract to Coastline for the emergency water repairs. Any questions or comments on these resolutions?
I know the one that's been tabled about the flashing beacon on Taunton Boulevard. I don't know if Dan was responsible or you, or what a wonderful, I don't know what the word is, coup to finally get it done. It's amazing. And so thank you both.
Thank you.
Am I thanking you?
You guys.
Yeah.
You guys.
Really, it's the residents, but yeah.
You know the word kudos? Kudos.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I think, speaking of subcommittees earlier, this was one of the initiatives
Yes.
put forth by the subcommittee, so we got a lot of feedback, we asked a lot of questions, we heard what they really needed in that community. So, yeah, these are the outcomes that we look for when we engage with the public. So
And I think it shows that this council listens and acts.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Schiffer's not here to give you.
I know, honestly. Yeah, I almost adjourned the meeting when I didn't see him. So we are now at the point where we need a roll call.
Motion.
Oh, a motion, I apologize.
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
A roll call.
I'll do
Oh, roll call, sure, we'll do both.
Ms. Santamore?
Here. Oh, yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Mill?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Voorhees?
Aye.
Mayor Sizzle?
Aye. All right, we did it, guys. The consent agenda resolutions are passed. All right, so now we have the resolutions, and as stated during communications, I will entertain the motion to amend 45 and 46, as well as a motion to table 47.
Yes, I'd like to make those motions happily.
Second. Okay. Before we do the roll call, just to be clear, and I'd ask you to potentially read it just to make sure that we have the proper amendments. But
Resolution 45, 2026, designating Parkview at Kirby Mills area, Block 803, Lot 6.01 and 6.02 as an area in need of redevelopment, non-condemnation. We are taking away the designation of the redeveloper
and we are continuing on with the authorization.
and authorizing preparation of a redevelopment plan.
Perfect.
Resolution 46-2026, designating Stall Camp EFS LLC area, Block 302, Lot 28.02 and 39.03 as an area in need of redevelopment, non-condemnation. We will be removing the designation of the redeveloper and authorizing preparation of a redevelopment plan.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Voorhees. All right.
Mayor, if I can, for Resolution 47, understanding that the appointing redeveloper is withdrawn and it was previously designated a redevelopment area. And I would defer to council, but authorizing the preparation.
You are correct, Mr. Taylor.
Of a redevelopment
Yeah.
plan.
So I may ask that, Deputy Mayor Voorhees, could you amend your table, just because we will need to still authorize preparation of a redevelopment plan? So if you can allow for 47, but just remove appointing redeveloper. Same concept as 45 and 46. And
I would agree.
okay. So just to clarify, so our current stipulation right now is that we would like to not name a redeveloper for any of the resolutions.
Correct.
But to Mr. Taylor's point, we do need to continue to allow for authorization to prepare the redevelopment plan. And I'd like to have a very robust discussion on this before we proceed. So, Mr. Taylor, if you could just elaborate on this.
On the redevelopment plan?
On the separation of assigning a redeveloper, yet still having the authorization to prepare a redevelopment plan.
So mainly, and I don't know if Mr. Hornick had an opportunity to go forward, we have a color-coded outline.
That was fabulous, by the way.
Thank you. It helps sort of visualize all of the steps that are involved. But as we all know, we have a March 15 deadline.
I'm sorry, Mr. Can you go in the microphone just so people
Sorry
at home
about
can
that.
hear?
Sorry about that. So we have a March 15 deadline to adopt zoning modifications for the 3 sites that were identified in the housing element and fair share plan that was adopted in June and then amended in December. So part of that is the designation study. The Trollinger Key property was already designated in 2017 by ordinance resolution 95-2017. So that step does not need to be taken tonight. Based on the planning board's recommendation, you're authorizing or passing a resolution accepting the board's designation recommendation for those other 2 properties that are identified in resolutions 45 and 46. We still need to move forward on all 3 of the sites to develop the design standards, the zoning standards for all 3, so we can meet those court-mandated deadlines of March 15. That was the short version, as you know.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes.
Mr. McGunkin, I believe when we spoke yesterday, we talked about 47, and you thought if we tabled it, the slight delay would not infringe?
The preparation of the redevelopment plan doesn't change anything other than you have the plan and it's a loaded gun with a bullet in it. So you're not adopting it, you're preparing it. And so I don't see any reason why today, why we wouldn't do that, as long as you're not naming the redeveloper. So, preparation of the plan doesn't require you to do anything further other than have the plan done, in order to hopefully meet any deadlines we're gonna have to.
Mr. Taylor, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Taylor, did you say, did I hear you right, that the Trollinger Key property was designated an area in need of redevelopment back in 2017?
Yes.
And forgive me, Mr. Taylor, thank you for the education there, but I need it in maybe more simpler terms, so I'll give it a shot. Tell me if I'm right or not. So if we looked at the original draft of Resolution 45 at this point, so now we're just looking at Parkview at Kirby's Mill. This designates the area, it assigns a redeveloper, and it authorizes the preparation of the redevelopment plan. It originally does three functions.
Correct.
Right. For that resolution, we're removing one of those functions. We're removing the designation of the redeveloper. We're keeping the designation of area in need of redevelopment and authorizing the plan.
Authorizing the preparation of it.
The preparation of the plan, I apologize.
Not the adoption.
That we would copy and paste that same logic on the 46.
Correct.
Yep.
And basically what we're doing for council is we are doing item number 7 tonight, which is the final step in the redevelopment designation process. And we're deferring item 13, which is the actual designation of a redeveloper, to a future time. And that really can happen, as we indicated in the process outline we distributed, that can happen after the March 15 deadline.
There's no date for that
There is.
on your chart.
There is no
Yeah.
date for that.
Understood.
Again, going back to our conversation yesterday, though, I believe, and I have it in my notes, and maybe I wrote it down wrong, we were talking about the fact that the other two plots had to go to DCA. And that's why we would only amend them to remove the developer.
That's correct. 'Cause
And we
there's a
spoke
30-day
about-
timeframe. That's correct, but you still need to, you're not adopting the redevelopment plan.
Correct.
You're designating the preparation. of the
Right, so that it could be sent out.
It can be sent out at some point in the future if you adopt it. So the plan would be to send these to DCA. In the first case, in the last resolution, it's already been approved as an area needed redevelopment, unlike the other two. But the preparation of the plan allows the township the flexibility to approve a plan, deny a plan, and still give you a couple of weeks after that to meet the March 15th deadline, make any changes to the plan. That's why the preparation of the plan is important, but the designation of the developer is not, and you can adopt the plan or not adopt the plan between now and March 15th. But the preparation of the plan still needs to be done, just like the other two, the first two resolutions.
It's not that I'm against amending the resolution to table the resolution. I'm not sure I got that right. I think my frustration is that when I spoke earlier, it was based on the fact that we said tabling it for a short time would not make a difference into the top. It would make it tight.
My understanding of that, though, is with all of them, if we don't adopt the redevelopment plan on the 17th, or you don't adopt it before and get it done by March 15th, we still have the opportunity to pursue an extension of that time as we need it. But preparing the plan only gives you more protection if you need time to amend it, if you need time to change it, if you deny it, if you don't approve it. All of those things give you a little more time and flexibility as you move forward toward this deadline. In the meantime, we do intend to discuss a potential extension of that. But showing that we are preparing the plan gives the people who are going to have to approve that request or consider that request feeling that at least we are attempting to meet our requirements. So the preparation of the plan is not a critical component of it at this point. Approval of the plan is what is going to be the critical component. And preparing the plan just gives you more time and flexibility to meet the deadline if needed. But the designated redeveloper is certainly not necessarily a constraint to responsibility.
I get, for me, if I can, Mr. Taylor, I'm trying to get wrap my head around timing of things. And with this designation going back to 2017, prior to round 4 commencing, I'm trying to see how how this is now fitting into the round four obligation and why no action was done previously.
So during the third round affordable housing process, the Trollinger Key properties were identified as a possible backup site.
Okay.
That if for some reason one of the other properties fell through, this property would be designated, and we would be slightly ahead in the process if we had to go through the redevelopment zone process. As council knows, that's exactly what happened with the Lafferty site. And then the third site, the Parkview Stall alternate site, had to be added in. So Trollinger was done as a backup site.
Okay.
But because rezoning those more rural lands is really not what Medford's vision has been, that was held in abeyance until 2024 and 2025, when we had a court-mandated affordable housing obligation assigned to us.
I do have a copy of 47, Resolution 47. And this resolution lays out, again, in those three parts, it does not list the third part, because the third part, it's already been listed as an area in need of redevelopment.
Right.
In 17. So it's my understanding that none of these resolutions should have the designation of redeveloper. We'll start there. And we need to assign all three of these areas in need of redevelopment, two of which are up for tonight. One has been done previous to this council. And the main component of tonight's action that with these amendments we'd like to see is on the table for adoption would be, just so I have it right, authorizing the preparation of a redevelopment plan for all three sites.
For all three sites.
With the fact that it probably will not change our timeline, although I am frustrated at the miscommunication, I would be willing to amend the push-to-table resolution 47, 2026 to an amendment of only authorizing preparation of a redevelopment plan.
Removing the redeveloper sign.
Removing the redeveloper, thank you.
Okay. So at this point, and I'm sorry, Tara, I'll make sure we get back here. So 45, we're asking to amend the resolution removing, designating the redeveloper.
So basically, the second paragraph from the end, where it says D.R. Horton, we're just going to strike that paragraph?
Ooh, I was looking at the actual title. Yeah. I'll turn to Mr. Taylor for clarification here, or Mr. McGuckin. We're looking to remove item A?
Mr. Mayor, can I
Yes, sir.
ask a question? Deputy Mayor Voorhees, and it just seems to me that we as a council have a lot of questions about all three of these. I mean, if possible, could we table all three resolutions until our next meeting so we could have more discussion, either in executive session or some more clarification from professionals about all three?
What are the implications of tabling?
In just discussing with Mr. Taylor, there's a deadline for us to declare the areas in need of redevelopment and to approve that by resolution.
But we're all in agreement with the areas, right? We're just taking off the development.
And if I can, the authorization of the preparation of a redevelopment plan, I think was added in just for clarification and direction. That, as the township planner, the township manager can direct us to do that. That's already been part of the escrow agreement that is covered. So I think that was actually an extra step that was put into those resolutions. So I defer to Mr. McGuckin, but I think if Mr. Hornicle was fine giving us that authorization to move forward and continue preparing those plans,
Absolutely.
47 could then potentially be stricken in its entirety, and 45 and 46 would just be limited to the designation affirming the planning board's finding.
That was passed unanimously at the last planning board meeting. And these are all very important steps, but procedurally, Resolution 45 as amended and Resolution 46 as amended would basically be affirming what the planning board has already passed.
Right.
So, and with the consultant council, manager, planner, if we're comfortable amending 45 to just designate the area in need of redevelopment, as well as 46, designate an area in need of redevelopment, not designating a redeveloper for either, and in theory, not adding the verbiage authorizing preparation of a redevelopment plan through resolution, that will not hinder the professional and the staff's ability to continue on through the steps to still meet our timeframes. Is that how I understand it?
As long as Mr. Hornicle and Mr. Taylor are fine with that, and the council, I have no problem with that.
Okay. I'm getting a head nod and a double thumbs up. So would council be willing to amend 45 and 46 to just designating the two parcels in areas of needed redevelopment?
Yes.
Sure.
And we will then be tabling 47 in its entirety.
Upon reading it, I am willing to amend, again, Councilman Cox can definitely speak to it as well. I am willing to amend my motion to table. I'm not going to get the words right.
Sorry.
By just, just allowing it to be authorizing a preparation of a redevelopment plan, but nothing else.
Okay. So would council be comfortable authorizing the redevelopment plans? Would be I would want to make a motion for that, but we would need a second and any conversation there or before, excuse me.
Wait, authorizing preparation of?
Preparation.
Yeah,
Just
okay, just the preparation.
Okay.
Yes, so I would make a motion to amend 45, 46, and 47 for authorizing preparation of a redevelopment plan.
As well as designating
As well as designating 45
5
and 46.
areas in need of redevelopment.
Yes.
Okay. Striking the designation of redeveloper from both 45 and 46.
And 47.
And 47. Good point.
Yes, nice catch.
All right. Tara, we'll get that for you, I promise. All right?
Okay.
All right. So we need to do them individually?
You can do them as a consent together. You can make a motion for all three at once based upon the amendments that you've done.
I would make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Ms. Zensmore?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes, as amended.
Ms. Mill?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Voorhees?
Aye.
Mayor Sibley?
Aye. All right. The resolutions are passed through consent with their amendments. All right. We'll now be going into executive session.
I don't have anything. I don't know if Mr. McGuckin does.
I'm still getting up to speed in the week. It's been a whirlwind. And I really don't have anything I can advise you about. If you have questions or anything, I would do my best, but I don't have anything to bring to closed session tonight.
If that's very fair. Thank you. I apologize to the public. I would like to introduce Mr. McGuckin, our new attorney. Thank you very much for applying, interviewing, and accepting the role here. We know we're in good hands with you.
Thank you, Mayor. I heard it was 3-hour meetings, though. I'm a little
Yeah, I
confused.
know. I know.
They've been.
Don't jinx us.
Yeah. So, seeing as though Mr. McGuckin does not have anything directly to discuss with us in executive session, we do have access to Mr. McGuckin outside of these meetings with the one-on-one communications through the manager as well. So with that, we will not have an executive session. My wife will be very happy that I'm going to make a motion to adjourn at 8 o'clock.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting's adjourned.